Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're currently in Norway on our second trip of the year. This is day 3. We've just got here. It took us 13 and a half hours to drive from Rotterdam up to Hirtshals yesterday. We jumped on the ferry to Langesund this morning and we've just headed up into the forests of Telemark along this dirt track, and we've just set camp up and we've got about 3 weeks here in Norway, and perhaps we might head into Sweden along the Norwegian-Swedish border later on if we get time. So hopefully it should be another great adventure. I don't know if the camera's picking up any of the snow lying around in the forest here, but I think it's going to be pretty cold over the next few weeks. If you watched our Sweden series when we took a trip up to the Wilderness Road, it got pretty cold then, and I think we went on that trip a bit earlier, so yeah, we're really prepared for the cold. The temperature was set to drop well below freezing during the night, so I set about gathering some firewood for the campfire. I was lucky enough to find some relatively dry deadwood, which burned well throughout the evening. And after the end of a warm summer back in the UK, it was good to start using my winter bushcraft tools again. It's easy to underestimate the amount of firewood needed to keep you warm throughout the longer nights of a Scandinavian autumn. Open campfires are notoriously inefficient, and you can guarantee that the pile of wood you spent all afternoon collecting will disappear much quicker than you'd like it to. Morning guys, I have to say I've done a lot of winter camping, but not in temperatures like this. This is probably the coldest I've ever camped in. It was so cold that when I poured the water from the bottle into the kettle this morning to make a coffee, the water just froze within about 10 seconds. So yeah, it's not too bad once you get up into the tent. I think the hardest thing is just getting up in the morning, like putting these trousers on. It was so cold it was like I was slipping into an ice bath. So that's a tough 60 seconds in the morning when you're getting dressed, but once you're up with a cup of coffee, then it's not too bad. There's quite a few hunters coming up and down here. I've already seen 2 walk past. The ladies just walked past now, and earlier on in the morning a guy went past with a dog, and there's been a couple of cars going by as well. But this area here, it's actually quite populated. It's just back off the coast, so there's a fair few people living around here. Hopefully when we get a bit further north we'll get right out into the back country and probably won't see many people. This is really nice and dry, so I'll process a bit of this and keep it for the gilly kettle. Well, morning folks. As you can see, it's a bit chilly this morning. I think it got down to about -4 last night according to the app that I have on my phone. But yeah, so I got up this morning and I put a fire on straight away just to get a bit of warmth in my bones. So what we're going to do today then is head further west, so I think it'll be a day of driving, and we're going to go and attempt to climb Pulpit Rock tomorrow. There's a campsite not far from the trailhead, so we're going to hopefully check into there this evening so we can get a shower and everything and sort ourselves out a bit. So yeah, that's the plans for today. Yeah, there's some pretty big drops off the end of this path. See Tris taking her time there. You definitely do not want to be falling over the side. Morning folks, so we're back out for another hike up to the Bundesbree Glacier. It was about 10 kilometers from where we camped last night. There's a car park down there, so we've left the truck, and I think it's a four-hour round trip to the glacial fields. So yeah, weather's still relatively mild actually. I'm not really sure how warm it is, probably feels about 7 or 8 degrees. So yeah, let's just hope the rain stays off. So we're almost at the end of the lake now, but the path really seems to disintegrate. Like you can see, Tris down there struggling to get up. She's having a tough time. She's only got small legs. But yeah, there's a beach down there. That's where I want to have my lunch. So hopefully this path is going to take us there, which I'm pretty sure it will. And then the glacier is just up there. just in between those two ridges there, so we might get a view of it. I don't know. Well folks, we're on the Hardangervidda road, and it's about -2, -3 out there already, and we're looking for somewhere to camp. We've left it a bit late, it's already 5:30, but I think we really need to get down off these off this plateau, because it's absolutely freezing. I really do not fancy spending the night up here. You just have a look over there at that lake, it's frozen solid. So we really struggled to find anywhere to camp until well after dark. Due to the nature of the landscape, there were few roads leading off the main route, and those that did were either residential areas or areas dominated by holiday cabins. So we eventually settled on a large lay-by. So we got in late, we got up early, and then continued north along the Jotunheimen road and sat out a few rainy days in a campsite in the town of Otter. Leaving Otter, we headed north of the Dovrefjell National Park, where we stopped for what was by far the most memorable lunch break of the trip. Well folks, so we left Otter this morning, packed up in the rain, and we headed over the Dovrefjell National Park, which was another fantastic drive, and we're heading towards a town near the Swedish border called Röros. So we're looking for somewhere to camp, and we've come up this track. It comes up off the main road down there. There's no private signs or anything. It's obviously a farmer's track, because I can see the massive tractor tyres here. So one of the main problems that were found in Norway for wild camping is that through the mountainous areas there's just like one main road, and anything that comes off that main road is inhabited. There's cabins, holiday cabins, people's houses. So you can look on the map, and there are roads coming off, dirt roads, but there's just nowhere to camp. You have to really scour the maps and just try your hand. Like, this is about the 4th or 5th time we've pulled off the main road here in the space of a couple of hours, just trying to find somewhere that's suitable to camp. So yeah, I think it's just the nature of the terrain. It's so mountainous that you don't have little roads crisscrossing the areas. We found last year in Sweden that because the country's full of forests, there's lots of forest tracks for forestry workers to get in, or where they've been felling wood in the past. So you can just, I mean, they're everywhere, so you can just drive onto them and find somewhere to wild camp. But so far, different story here in Norway, so you've got to persevere a bit. But this is looking promising. This is a very old track that we're walking up here. Just see what's at the end of it. Well guys, we found a camp spot here. It's not ideal, it's on a bit of an incline, but yeah, it's gonna have to do. You can drive for hours around here looking for somewhere to get off the main roads and camp, so this is going to do. One good thing is there's tons of dry firewood lying around, so that's what we're going to do at the moment. Going to get me saw out and get a good stash going, then get a nice fire on, because it's been raining so much over the last few days that a lot of our equipment's been getting soaked. My backpack's still wet, my waterproofs are still soaking, the fox wing and the side panels, can't seem to get them dry. It's just been raining constantly, but you know, that's we knew that was going to happen. It's Scandinavia, it's autumn, you're going to get rained on. So yeah, I'm going to go and prepare some firewood. Sticks to bone. One of the problems with trying to get wood in Scandinavia off a forest floor like this is that I think the wood kind of rots fairly quickly. It's such a damp environment, so I'm going to check this one, see what it's like inside. But I have noticed while I'm down here there's tons of lingonberries and bilberries. I think they're bilberries, not blueberries. In fact, they're definitely not blueberries because I've got a blueberry bush at home and it looks nothing like that. I think these are bilberries. But we already have a nice bag of lingonberries that Tris picked a few days back. So I think she'll probably be out again later on. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's alright. Dry enough. Evening folks, it's a perfect night so far. There's no wind, the sky's clear, there's a full moon rising over there. This fire's keeping us warm. I've got a cup of wine, I've got my tripod set up here like a spit, and we're drying our tea towels and towels that have been getting wet over the last few days. It's definitely sub-zero at the moment because I've just put the Foxwing awning away and it was frozen solid, so it's probably about -1. But yeah, this is brilliant. Well, morning folks, that was another peaceful wild camp for most of the night anyway. At about 3 in the morning, all we could hear was like howling because there's a huge pack of dogs down there, but it sounded like it was pretty near, so I opened the tent and there was just like a full moon and these like dogs howling away. Have you ever seen American Werewolf in London? But other than that, yeah, another beautiful night, but really, really cold. I put my hot water bottle into the rooftop tent last night, so it was relatively comfortable getting into bed. But by 2 or 3, I don't know what the temperature dropped down to, but it was brass. But got up this morning, got up about 7:30, had a wander, a few cups of coffee, done a bit of filming, a bit of photography, and this is just a really, really nice place to camp. I'm probably just gonna have a few coffees, chill out for a bit, and then head on to Røros, I think. Maybe try and find somewhere else to wild camp for this evening, and then probably check into a campsite, I reckon, every couple of days, I think. Just to set everything up and try and get stuff dry. Well folks, we left the last camp this morning, and we've done a few kilometres, not very far, maybe it's about 30 or 40 kilometres towards the town of Røros. And just before you get into town, there's a right turn and takes you down by a lake. So we found a lovely little track coming off the road, if you can see behind, just there. So the road runs up the top there. This track brings you down here. It's a dead end. So this is tonight's camp spot. I've managed to put up a washing line there just to dry the Foxwing side panels, because I haven't really been able to get them dry for days now. So yeah, this is tonight's camping spot. I'll just show you what it's like down here. It's a lovely little area, mind. Might get the fishing rod out in a bit, actually. So yeah, this is the view. I've got Tris down there taking some pictures. So I think it's time to get some firewood together, I think, and yeah, maybe just get a fire on. It's bloody freezing. I done today to get the fire going, because we've had a few problems with the damp wood, is I've got some kiln dried wood from back home. I carry it in the aluminium box on top of the truck. So I've just cut up a good couple of handfuls of kindling, and I put them on the base of the fire there. So they're obviously going to burn very well, and that gives you like a nice hot base to put the damp wood on, and it seems to be working a treat. You probably can't hear it on the microphone, but that damp wood that I've got on top there is just hissing away, and that's one of the problems around Scandinavia at this time of year. The wood is just it's just soaking wet, really. I mean, it does burn once the fire gets really hot, but you have to tend to the fire constantly to keep it going through the night. But I guess if you just batten the wood down to small strips like that, it's much easier. Last night we kind of ran out of wood by about 9 o'clock, so we were just putting big chunks of essentially damp wood onto the fire, and it's a bit of a challenge to get that to burn properly. But I'm going to put the snow pig grill over the fire once the fire dies down a bit. And Trish has got what have you got, a lamb stew? A lamb stew. Yeah, a lamb stew prepared, so we're going to try and cook that over the fire. So yeah, let's see how it goes.